At 82 years old, George Wilson, a billionaire and former industrialist, lived in seclusion in his historic mansion in Savannah, Georgia. He was tired of people. Over the past decades, he had been betrayed by family, partners, doctors, and even servants. Each betrayal left a scar. In the end, he shut everyone out, surrounding himself only with cameras, security systems, and loneliness. One day, he hired a new assistant, 30-year-old Emily Brooks. She had come to Savannah from a small town in Kentucky, dreaming of graduating from university with a degree in art history. Emily worked part-time as a cleaner to pay for her studies and support her parents, who were struggling to keep their rural grocery store afloat. The very next morning, Wilson decided to test her. He deliberately left his office safe open, with $5 million in cash inside. He hid in the attic and turned on surveillance, waiting, as he had before, for the girl to fail. Emily entered the office, cleaning methodically, and soon noticed the open safe. Yet instead of approaching it, she immediately called Wilson's secretary to report that he had likely forgotten to close it. Then, she brought a chair and sat in front of the safe, guarding the money until his return. Throughout the day, she didn't even leave for lunch, eating right there to keep the safe under watch. Later, her parents called. Their store was at risk of closure due to bank debt. The girl cried, helplessly glancing at the open safe. But in the end, she approached it and closed it, entering the code so no one could access the money. That evening, Wilson came down, pretending he had just returned. But in the office, he confessed. He told her it had been a test, and she was the first to pass it. He handed her an envelope with $50,000. Emily refused, saying she had only acted according to her conscience. Then she admitted something. 2 years earlier, her cousin's emergency heart surgery had been paid for by an anonymous benefactor. By chance, Emily had discovered it was George Wilson. Since then, she had dreamed of thanking him in person, which was why she had applied for the job. Wilson was stunned. He had thought no one remembered his good deeds. He opened the safe, retrieved some documents, and showed Emily. He had already amended his will. Now, she would not only inherit part of his fortune but also take over the management of the charitable foundation he had built over decades. Emily was overwhelmed. She didn't consider herself worthy. But Wilson told her that was precisely why he had chosen her, for her honesty, humility, and genuine desire to help others. 6 months later, Emily's life had changed. Her parents' store was saved, she continued her studies, and she trained to manage the foundation. Together with Wilson, they developed new support programs for low-income families, students, the elderly, and the sick. The old mansion was no longer empty. Emily became like a granddaughter to Wilson. They dined together, discussed ideas, and talked about the meaning of life. He felt he had finally found not just an heir, but someone who would carry on his legacy. One evening, sitting on the terrace overlooking the Savannah sunset, Wilson quietly said, "I always thought I'd leave money behind. But it turns out, I'll leave you. And that is so much more."